So today we've been accompanying the Nairobi workshop, which is looking at fire in Kenya, and at the same time we've been reflecting about our own practices and having discussions. We developed a rich picture in the morning and used that rich picture as a way to think about the issues of decolonisation and decoloniality. And so, yeah, this video is just a few reflections on that.
And I both use or utilise participatory methodologies, and we do this in an attempt to decolonise our research approach to ensure that communities and individuals' worldviews, epistemologies are well represented, to kind of really engage in like a grassroots approach.
Mm-hmm. I think when we think about coloniality and decolonising, often we speak of it in terms of this overarching thing that really presses down on people, and it has historically. But then we kind of overlook the agency that people have as well, and I think participatory methodologies specifically are very important at highlighting the agency that people have in making their own decisions over fire governance and fire management.
And to that end as well, like, whilst we need to acknowledge and recognise the participants in our research as agency, we also need to recognise our own agency, and I think to have kind of some personal introspection in our implicit biases that may have been shaped by like colonial frameworks or colonial legacies.
And I think part of responding to that as well is responding to what communities are asking for, rather than going in with your sort of research topic.
Exactly.
Yeah, in my work or similar work, like the remote sensing or Earth observation has become one of the basic tool to access to monitor the health of the earth, especially the forest or vegetations. So and the data set is becoming more accessible to all of us, but the capacity part from institutions or from the local ground is a little bit behind, which needs to be bridged up. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I mean, so I work with modelling and sort of looking at the effect that the smoke emissions and fires have, and so the problem that we have is that our models are essentially have to be tuned against observations. So our chemistry models, for instance, and we have really good observation networks over the US and Europe. So most of the model tuning is done against those observations. We have relatively sparse coverage over, say, Africa or over Southeast Asia, even though these are really hotspots of fires. So the way our models are tuned to represent aerosols and the way they affect climate isn't necessarily representative of the kind of fire emissions we get from these regions, just because of where the data is being collected from and where we have good observational networks.
And yeah, speaking about underrepresentation, also in those contexts where we are largely covered, like the US, for example, we have also big data that are not coming from remote sensing, but from the institution, from all jurisdictional level, from local to federal, that still may be underrepresented of those lands where are managed and tenured by indigenous people.